So I've got like 8% battery. Hopefully can make a video with this amount of battery. Yeah, doing some thinking, just about stuff and looking at things from different perspectives, and yeah, I've just been analysing stuff the past couple of days. My perspective has changed. It's changing. I'm quite open-minded and I can look at things from different points of views. So, I'm willing to always listen to people who don't think the same as me, I might not be aware of their own, actions. They might not be aware, because sometimes, not everything's black and white. Some people might not realise how their actions affect other people. Some people do, you know what I mean? When you've been around narcissists for like 20 years, they don't even need to say anything. You just know. It's just a look, you know what I mean? And little tiny comments, you just know when you're dealing with narcissistic people and racists. So yeah, I've been spotting a lot of stuff recently, but I don't know whether they realise or not. And to be honest, I'm past caring whether they realise or not. My point is, you don't do it. You don't display certain behaviour towards people, and don't try and make excuses for why people should accept it either. It's like people are saying about a lot about child trafficking. What about this? Are the Black Lives Matter people doing anything to do with that? You know what I mean? And it's like, everything is to divert away from them saying, well, I'm saying they. I experience stuff myself. I'm not even full black, so God knows how it is for someone who's like a really dark complexion, afro hair. It must be so hard, unimaginable. So I experience stuff myself, you know what I mean? So God knows how it is for them. Flipping nightmare trying to live in people don't know, you know what I mean? And some black people don't experience the same stuff because, they're programmed. They don't see it like how others do. It's different perspectives at the end of the day. A lot of people like that kind of system and, what fit into that sort of like, Western culture and everything. I think it's great and want to be accepted and thrive in that environment. So, sorry, the kids are going too high on the swing. So they want to, thrive in that environment. But if you don't want to thrive in that Western environment, money, dressing like, certain ways or whatever, having your hair certain ways, you experience stigma. Trust me. And racism does exist. How if you start going into certain areas of your, you're the minority, and that is the way it is. Especially in England, black people are the minority, and it's not as if they're the minority and they get treated alright. They don't. People are racist. The system is racist. People, I've been around it in many scenes now. Been around it in the home ed scene. Had to experience stuff and I just pretend I don't see it. I pretend I don't notice it of some people, because it's like, what's the point? What is the point? You know what I mean? But some people have been really nice and alright. Some people are not. Some people are racist in home ed scene. There's classism as well. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but the point is, just because other things exist, stop making excuses and saying, why do black people basically feel the need to voice what they are experiencing? just because you don't see why it's important, it doesn't mean it's not important. So to me, if you don't understand, maybe that's why there is a need for a platform where they need to speak, we need to speak, so you can flaming understand, because you don't understand and you're contributing to the problem. Do you know what I mean? Can you blame people for being angry? I'm not excusing anger, but can you blame people when you get daft comments like, oh, slavery was ages ago, it don't exist anymore? Like, it's absolute nothing. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. So, take me out off getting up. Yeah, so to me, it's like, there does need to be a platform for this, and they're not welcome with other groups to have a voice. So, they've some people just use the title BLM. I've asked in Black Lives Matter groups and they've said no one owns the title, you know what I mean? They just use it because they want to use it, so that's fine, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that they're with all the rest of it, but people know this because straight away it's the only thing they've got, you know what I mean? And they're just clutching at straws to throw any reason to hang on to racism, because they like their places of privilege and power, and and a lot of people know their positions, and now black people are waking up to what's going on. They don't like it. They don't want their positions of power to be and racism to be revealed, because it's like people are living with flipping blindfolds basically, and then you don't realise until people spot it out to you. It's like abuse. If you're in an abusive relationship, mental abuse, sometimes you might not realise certain things that other people might be thinking, and then it's like, oh well, that person is all right with it. They've not got a problem. And it's like, let's say there's a person living with a few abusers, and then another family member can see that person's being abused mentally and taken a piss out of. That person might not see it, and it doesn't. So, and if they're like, well, they're all right with it, they don't mind, so they can continue their behaviour. Now, does that mean that person's not experiencing abuse? No, it doesn't. It means they are not in a position of realising of what's going on. They've not realised what's going on. Where there's people that are coming out of that sleep state, that are realising what's going on. And now there's people that have never been in that sleep state and always been awake to this racist system, and you know what I mean, they've just always had the eyes open to it. But yeah, it's deep. It's a very deep subject. It's not clear cut, because we've all been affected by the programming and conditioned from birth, and then people know this, but when you want to talk about the racism side, people don't want to go there. It is weird as hell that people just don't want to go there and do everything. The reactions I see of people when you go there, it's crazy. It's like, what is going on? Like, what's your problem? Just really love being racist or something. Why would you say it doesn't exist? You're not experiencing that. How can you say that? How dare can anyone say that? It's like, oh my God. Well, I didn't even know they had flipping microphones or whatever on there. That was weird. But yeah, forgot what I was saying now. But yeah, to just go and basically tell someone they're not experiencing something, shut up. Now, and you know what? It's a massive big deal. I wouldn't even mind about if it was something little. It's a flipping massive big deal, because it's why the world is the way it is. It's why there's COVID-19. It's why you've got vaccinations. It's why you live in this fucked up system, because of what the racist Western people have done to the fucking planet. And that's why. And it's for people continuing to allow these racist psychopaths to continue their agenda. And you know what I mean, just fucked up the planet, made weapons, flipping, put them in all different countries, start caused war, and put their mindset and their sickness onto the whole planet, and have infected everyone with their sick mind. And it's not us. That's not who we are. There's a group of sickos, or I don't even know, but the fact is, it's not who majority of us are. It's not how we are. Our human side is not like theirs, whoever they are, whoever's done all this shit. It's not how we are. We've just been forced to, live like this. So to me, the Native Americans, if you look at, look at indigenous cultures, look at the tribes, look at all these tribes everywhere. You know what I mean? And even the flipping Native Americans were started off, black. I don't know, and then they've got lighter skin. They was tough, don't forget, as well. And brutally, brutal things happened to them. That might be why they got lighter. Same with, I think it was China. There's black people in China with slanted eyes, and do you hear about that? Black people in India, and you just slowly, quietly hear of these black people that are still living in the. Some of them are still living how they did in tribes. I'll share some documentaries, but it's all quiet and hushed up. Everything, mass deception gone on throughout the world. You don't hear about black people in England being royals, but it's they're just everywhere by slavery. That's all we're giving you. That's what we're giving the world, because we don't want you to know your power, how your rich basically your ancestral roots. We want you to think it was all, slavery, bad, bad, bad. And there's a much more rich history that comes with black people's roots as well. And that's why it's important to talk about, because our kids shouldn't be going to school to get taught lies. My battery's going to go dead. But yeah, truth needs to come out in every single way. And it needs to be talked about, not silenced.